Hello kids. Right, let's get set up. You're here early. For those that are just joining, we're going live and it's a mess because it's raining. But the kids are here. They're gonna get wet. Okay, here we go. Hello, little one. You being a bear? There you go, precious. Oh, Mum. I'm going to have to go and get some more food because I couldn't carry it all at once. Let's give them some sandwiches. And then I can go and get some seeds out. You guys okay there, CP? Oi, get out of the bag. Your cheek. Getting in the food bag. You're a cheeky one. Are you Soupy? Here you go. What about Mumsy? Soupy, there he is. It's a close one. I call him Soupy because he usually dips his food in the buckets of water. Welcome everybody if you just joined. Excuse me while I spray myself with mosquito spray because it's pretty bad out here. We're having a bit of a rain do again. So these are the kids and Mum. Hey you. This one here is cheeky. He knows his way into the food bag already. Mum's keeping her distance. And that dark one is called Shadow. He's super. Hey Shadow. Because here the fun and games going on the river with the jet skis. Quite surprised that's going on because it's raining. It's been raining all day. Anyway, here we are. So if you've not seen our site before, check them out. There used to be 6. We've got 1 baby missing. I have actually seen him. He turns up on his own with some of the adult ones. But he's either declared independence or been cast out by Mum. I think he's just independent. So it usually takes me a minute to get sorted here when I'm doing this live. This little Soup here. He's a cheeky one. You've discovered the bag. I think you're Soupy actually. It's hard to tell, you 3 are very similar. It used to be 4 that were the same, so the other one's becoming independent. He's still around, but he's hanging around with, which I think is the dad of all these. Who's another very dark raccoon called Boo. Like Shadow there. Uh-oh. Did we run out of sandwiches already? Good job we got more. Hey kiddo. There's one for you. These guys stayed away for a few days when that jet ski first appeared on holiday here, because it has music and it's a loud jet ski, and there's a cottage somewhere up the woods there that it lives at during the summer. They'll be gone in a couple of weeks. We get to stay, don't we? Hey, Shadow. No fighting. There's plenty to go around. Yeah. Oh, we just stole it from Mum. Little types. You're gonna steal food from your mum's very mouth. Oi. Pretty sure this is Soupy because he never goes very far away from me. And we got a squirrel as well, who's coming to have a nosy, see what all the fuss is about. Cheeky red squirrel. So this is Soupy. I haven't got names for the other two because they're too identical. I only know Soupy because he comes close. You're cheeky. You guys. Better make sure Mum... Oh, Shadow's going to steal Mum's sandwich. Here, Shadow. What about you? You guys are getting a bit cheeky with your Mum. A little one. There you go. Mum's pretty hungry. So they're having peanut butter sandwiches tonight, which they like. They've got sunflower seeds in all the feeders. But they'll nosh away with these for a few minutes before they decide to eat the sunflower seeds. You just want to look in the bag, don't you? Now you poked your nose in there. So we've got the raccoon cubs and their mum. Mum's there. We've got 4 raccoon cubs tonight. There was another raccoon earlier, but he's one I call Spinner. He gets pretty scared. He's quite shy. Look at you guys leaving all the crusts. You're not hungry? Mum's hungry because you guys keep stealing it from her. You can't eat my feet. No biting of toes, please. Where's Shadow? He's been neglected. At this rate, we're going to be on a very short show, guys, if you can keep eating at this speed. You guys are just eating the peanut butter out of everything. You're getting full now, aren't you? Yep, you're going to go after the seeds now. Put some seeds on the deck. You can have fun hunting them. While we give Mum some more sandwiches. Oops. So check out our site. It's just my little visitors on the deck here. I've been doing this feeding these for a few years. But only doing TikToks for 2 years. there's enough, all sorts of animals, from everything from foxes to owls to hawks even. And we got lots of different birds. Chipmunks, squirrels, skunks, who will be along later. But then we'll call it a day because I don't want to get sprayed. Here, Soupy. You don't want it? Yes, it is Soupy, isn't it? You always dip it in the bowl. This is Soupy making his soup. You guys were so scared of that jet ski a few weeks ago, you wouldn't come. Go on, boys. You can get in the bag again, don't you? Well, there's nothing in there. There's a sealed tub. Yeah, we're all going to wander off to, apart from Soupy, who's making soup. Peanut butter soup. You can clear up all the bits here, Mum. Excuse me a minute, if the camera goes shaky, it's because there's a mosquito sat on it. I'm going to slap it. So check out the site, and it's all these kind of creatures from the forest and the woods around where I live. It's been a pretty wet summer so far. I knew it raining again today. So there's also some links on my site. If you go into the bio there, there's different sites. There's a book that I made, which you can see on there. Children's reading book, an activity book, called Jet the Little Raccoon. That's on Amazon.com for about, depending where you live, I think it's $15 or so somewhere. I'm not sure what it is in Canada. About 20, maybe, a bit under. It's hard to say. I can't look at Amazon on that site because if I do, it negatively impacts the ratings of the book, evidently, if you keep looking at it and not buying it or doing anything. But anyway, there you go, kiddo. So there's that site, and there's also a Redbubble site where you can get everything from photos to t-shirts to with different characters that I've filmed over the years, who we've named, some of my who are also on the videos. So I think we're at 5,085 videos now as of today, I think I've made. So there's plenty to look at. They're all different things, critters, things around Prince Edward Island, views, mostly it's critters. And feel free to give us a like and a follow, the more the merrier. So it's a fairly new site. I've only been doing this 2 years and I still really don't know what I'm doing. The live thing is just a whole new game, which I'm still learning. So it's a bit difficult because it depends on what time these guys come, so I can't put a time every week. Last Friday we didn't have any turn up at all until the last minute, and it was pitch black then, so I did another one on Saturday when these guys turned up. But today we're lucky, and it's just after 7:30, around there. And look at the mess you've made, Soupy. Oh, Mum's told them all they've got to leave. So there's either another big raccoon coming, or the other little gang of raccoons we've got, or I've got a skunk creeping up on me. So she's taken them all away. She gathers them up pretty quick and then off they go. Good little kids. And they've made a bit of a mess. Look at this. So the other raccoons, there's a whole soup thing there that Soupy made. The other raccoons will be along later and clear it all up. So thank you. So if you've just joined, the raccoons just got gathered up by Mum and left, which means there's something in the air. They've got wind of something, I don't know. Maybe there's a bigger raccoon around, a male one that she's taken them away from. Oh, something's sneaking up behind me. So there's just me, and we have a mother squirrel here, a red squirrel, who's joining us. Surprised they're partying on the river tonight, but there we go. Hi, Ontario. So where were we? We were just saying what we've got. So as regards critters and videos on my site, there's everything that is loose around the neighbourhood. So I live in an area where I've got 7 acres of woodland. There's hundreds and hundreds of acres of woodland around me. Very few houses. We've got a river at the end of the garden, which the jet skis are on, up and down. They're having a party on the dock at the moment, by the sound of it. So that might be why the mother took them away, because she lives somewhere over there where that big tree is. And we have another gang that live the other side of the house, in the woods that side. Luckily they pretty much come at different times, so the mum is pretty good at keeping her babies safe. She's one of last year's babies. As I say, I've been feeding them for 4 or 5 years, I'm not sure now. The different ones, so they're all kind of offspring from each group. So they're pretty cute, and they're not tame, they're wild, but they're used to me. Other people they'll run away from, like my son even, they won't. If he comes out, that's it. Oops. So they won't stick around. They don't go near the neighbours, which is quite a long way away anyway. There's too much noise in the cottage during the summer, so they don't go there, and they've got a dog. They stay away. They just come here twice a day, usually. First thing in the morning, on their way to bed, when they've been out all night, and then first thing at night, like now, when they've woke up from their day's sleep and they're off on their prowl. And they'll be off down the river now. They'll be going down there because the tide, I think, is out. Not sure. Yep, the tide's out. So they've got mud flats to go on down there, and that's where they get most of their food. So I haven't cleared that bramble patch that goes down to the river because I like to keep it. There's some burrows for hares and things in there, so I'm not disturbing them. And having a lawn is boring. Having a nearly jungle is better. So I often get asked about the feeders I've made here. Most of them are cobbled together from hollow logs. There's a few that are made, homemade ones that I've just cut up and made. And there's some other things that have been repurposed. There's a basket, which kind of makes a cool thing for squirrels to sit and hide in it. And the lamp thing there, the squirrels like to go in there if it's raining. And we've got a log down here, which, let's have a look. I found this log while I was chopping wood. It has a hole in the front, and it's also got one on the roof, but the hat's been pulled off by the raccoons trying to get in there. The squirrels and chipmunks like to hide in there, so I just put some cute face on it. And we've got the dove house, which I just put there this year, which is doubling up as a hummingbird feeder. There's nobody living in the house. It got a bit bashed in the storm we had, so it needs a bit of work. So I just put it there for the moment. We've got a fallen tree there that has got a load of houses on it, which the squirrels are using. There's another hollow log in the middle of it, which they're using, and there's two little huts. And that's about it. Little snowman I made when we were chopping wood after Fiona. We did have a gazebo here last week. Now we have a pile of trash because the storm last week smashed it all up, so we'll be making a new gazebo. So that's the other side in the woods over that way. This is my setup for in the rain. Just a tripod with an umbrella on it, so we get another gazebo to sit in, which will be next summer now, as it's going to be winter soon. No point building one now. So we're just here with the squirrel till somebody will give it a little while. See who turns up. It can't be too long because I will get eaten to death. Mosquito heaven out here, and they don't seem to be put off by off at all. So I have to have a heavy winter coat on to stop them biting through it. I've got wellies on, and my mosquito hat. There's a couple of juncos, I think they're called, these little birds. Here, we had some yellow finches and purple finches here today, quite a few. They were here earlier. And we've got hordes of blue jays, of course. And we do actually have about 10 doves, but they're not using the house. They're all around. And we've got a couple of different types of woodpecker. And we've got hummingbirds, quite a lot of hummingbirds this year. It's been a good year for them. And of course we've got squirrels, like this mum one here, which means we're going to have another brood of babies, which means trouble, because they'll be fighting on the deck here with the older ones. And we've got a brood of little chipmunks. I think we've got 5 or 6 this year. We only had 2 last year. But we don't have a stray cat around. I think we don't know what happened to the stray cat we had. He disappeared back to the farm, I assume. I was feeding him and medicated him, and I'd dewormed him, and he was looking pretty good. I guess when he got his strength up, he disappeared. Went off somewhere. But he was pretty tatty when he first came, and took a bit of work to fix him up. So if you've just joined, the raccoons have just gone. It's just me and a squirrel and a couple of birds. But if you want to see what we were looking at, just go on the channel. The raccoons who were here, the cubs, are the ones that turn up every day. They were here this morning for breakfast at about 5 o'clock, when they generally come and knock on the door. And there's also some other adult ones. There was, I think this morning it was Boo and a couple of others. Boo is the one that comes up and actually lets me hand him a sandwich. There's lots of videos of him on. There's a few today. And if you go back in time, as to speak, there are lots of, what have we got, a mosquito on the lens? We do. There's other raccoons from the past couple of years or so. Who did we have? We had Lucky. He was a very friendly, poor little raccoon who was injured, and then I kind of nursed him back to health. And he stayed around for quite a while. And then we had Hazel, which was the mother of the brood that we've got this year. She was the mother of the mother. That sounds funny, but anyway. She had 5 babies last year, and then one of her kids has had 5 babies this year. And then last year we had one of them was called Jet, who I wrote the book of. It's a little kids book, which is on Amazon.com. It's also on my site. You can click on the link. I pinned it to the top of the page. Visit that, please, because all the proceeds I use from my links help me to feed these. We're going through about 50 pounds of sunflowers a week now, maybe, and probably about eight loaves of bread and a big jar of peanut butter. So anything helps. There's a wish list, but I'd prefer if people buy my book or something from the Redbubble site. I got a soothing voice. Oh, thank you. I'm losing it, I think. Now I'm stumped for words. Embarrassed. I guess people like my accent, so I'm from Northern Yorkshire, or Derby, North Yorkshire, Mid Yorkshire in England, and I've been on the island here for 23 years now. Prior to that, I was 20 odd years on cruise ships as a photographer, running a photography business around the world, photographing people, which is why I don't do people anymore. And prior to that, I was a commercial photographer. So I've worked in all different things. Started out as a laboratory technician, really, back in the day when photography was photography instead of graphics. And then I progressed to doing weddings, portraits, commercial work, and all that stuff. And then got a little business together with some people, and we went to Scandinavia, had a business on 5 different ships, photographing people, of course, which was interesting because Scandinavia is pretty awesome. And it was a great place to do that. And then I went over to Miami because they asked me to come over there and join another company. And I did that for quite a while, going around the world. But after doing 3,500 to 5,000 pictures of people every week, I don't want to do any more. So now I'm happy doing animals. And they pretty much don't give you any lip, so it's a lot easier. I just let them do what they want, and photograph them, film them, whatever. And that's where we're at. Now I'm in the process of writing books about some of these characters. I've got a couple more books I'm working on. So this first one we did was called Jet, the Little Raccoon. We got a book in progress which is going to be all about Boo, it's called, which is the one who I hand feed pretty much every day. I think we've probably got a new idea for Soupy here, one of the cubs from this year, who insists on putting all his sandwiches in the water bowl like this. He's just been here doing that. It's hard to distinguish him until he gets close to me, because he's got he's got 3 siblings that are identical to him, or her. I'm not sure what they are yet, they're too young. But I only know it's Soupy because he literally sits on my foot nearly and does this with the food bowl, the water bowl. The other 2 are not so brave to come near me. I think there was a video this morning where Soupy came up to me and I got my old slippers on, which were wet and were a bit stinky, and he took a sniff of my foot and then shook his head and jumped away. So I think he thinks I've got stinky feet. Yorkshire puddings, they're the best, absolutely. So if you come looking for animals, they've all gone. I don't know when they're coming back. They've got their own schedule. Mum gathered them all, the babies, up and took them away. There was a bit of a noise going on down on the river, and she decided that enough was enough and she was taking them away. So we're just seeing if anybody else turns up. Boo might turn up. He usually comes when it gets darker. I don't think we're going to be out here for an hour and a half. We'll give it another 10 minutes or so. And if you just joined, thank you very much for joining, and check out my site. And there's lots to see there. There's got 5,000 odd videos of animals and things around Prince Edward Island. And that's my cat in the cattery over there. We got a little pen that I built which links to one of the windows, and they can go in and out because they're indoor cats. There's some videos of them on the site. 2 gingers, long-haired gingers, who are completely useless outside because they get wet and they get tangled up in burrs, and they're happy inside. If I leave the door open, they'll just stay inside, unless there's a squirrel right outside, but they're happy enough. And they won't get into trouble by eating all the stars of the show, or get into fights with the raccoons. Yeah, I can hear you. What's the matter, Sonny? Sonny's calling me. We've got another squirrel creeping up on us here. He's over there by the window. You can hear the squirrels giving the alarm in the woods. So if you've just joined, I'm afraid the mother raccoon just took the babies away. They were here for quite a while. They left a bit of a mess with the food. They're leaving the crust, so I think they were full. She took them away. Soupy made this soup for us. He's one of the babies who does this all the time with his food. Likes to soak it in the water and then nibble away at it. Which is quite interesting. He's quite a friendly one. He sits on my feet nearly. Pretty sure one day if I put a sandwich on my knee, he'll sit on my knee. So we just had a squirrel who's claimed that little place over there. I blocked off the top entrance where the hat goes, and he's not happy about that because there's a hole in the top where you can get in and out. There was a little house on top with a hole, but the raccoons pulled it off the other day, so I got to do some repair work this weekend. It's the babies. They're getting them to be a bit playful. And the lights you see here, I have to have solar powered ones because I don't want to fry them if they chew through wires, because they're adventurous. The little ones like to climb up there and try and get that one. It's full of water today, I guess. That won't work till it's dried out. These other ones, they try and unscrew the bulbs because they're a frisky bunch. But I think we're pretty much not going to see anything now that it's going to get dark, and then I won't have enough light to see. And I'm sure you want to see more than just the squirrels. But anyway, check the site out. There's lots of videos. I do have a YouTube site as well, but I don't really post much on there, and generally it's a lot of the same. I just repost these things because some people don't have TikTok, I've been told, and they like to look on YouTube, so I made a YouTube channel which is in my links. I think it's called A Deck Full of Cute and Cuddly Critters or something. It's a long... I had another name for it, but it got taken away. It was a shorter, easier remembered name, and suddenly I lost it somehow. But check out my site, check out the links, give us a like and a follow, and we'll try and be on again next Friday, or maybe before, depends what's happening. I generally see what's going on and bounce on if I can, if there's anything interesting. Yeah, my birdhouses, they're all cobbled together from stuff, because the raccoons are quite tough on stuff, so if it's like a log, they can't break it. If it's solid wood, they can't break it, or metal, like these two things here. The table got a bit mangled. It's looking pretty sad actually, but usually I like these hollow logs because I can put food in there that the squirrels can shelter in and they feel safe from the chipmunks. Let's have a look at this. I made this feeder here last year. It's like shaped like a piano, because I call this the jazz club, the jazz lounge, piano lounge. So they sit there and they feed, and it does look like in the right light that they're playing the piano. There's a few videos of the skunks and the raccoons doing that, which I think is quite funny. I'm going to work on maybe a set of drums next, and we'll see what happens over the winter. Hi, Christine in Cape Breton. Are you getting rain there? Seems to have petered out a bit here for the moment. I think it's going to start again soon. Thank you for liking the live. Sorry there's no raccoons here, but I'm not in control. Mother Raccoon decided that was enough being live, enough stardom for one night. She took them away. They had a good belly full of peanut butter sandwiches, nearly at me at house and home here. I'm sure they'll be back later when it gets dusk. I'm pretty sure she took them down the river because the tide's out and they have an agenda to go fishing and get where their main food is. So although I give them snacks like this and fruit sometimes and nuts, and they do like corn, even popcorn for some reason, but it's not their main source of food. Mum likes to come because she's pretty stressed with 5 babies. So she's putting on weight now. She was pretty skinny this summer. She was stressed. I think 5 babies to feed is a lot for one raccoon. Anyway, she's doing good now. And unfortunately, one of the babies has disappeared on us. I thought I saw him last night with one of the other adult raccoons, so he might just be independent. Okay, thanks a lot for watching. Keep checking in, and the channels, I'm uploading at least 10 videos a day, so you can always watch them. I think we'll call it a night. And thank you all for visiting and liking, and please visit the channel and join me again. Look out for me being live. Thank you very much. We'll see you all again.